What is it? It is Tuesday, June the 28th. I'm first warning meteorologist Eric Burris. This is Coffee Talk. We get together 7 days a week. We chat about what's going on in the world of weather. Hopefully get your day started off on the right note. Hopefully get you educated in all that is the weather. Let's start off first and foremost with the top two things that we are monitoring. The weather pattern turning a little wetter and a little wetter these next few days. We'll be, of course, tracking that. Plus, we are tracking the tropics. There is one potential tropical system, two additional areas we're monitoring, and hurricane hunters are flying even as we speak. So there's plenty to get to this morning. Let's just chat and see what's doing across Central Florida, though. Then we'll get to the tropics, okay? Here's a live look outside. This is our Tower Cam network in Melbourne. You are looking nice, but the clouds are already building across town. Current temperature sitting in the 70s and 80s. Our first warning live Doppler radar. While rain-free to most of us, we take you into southern Brevard County, and there are a few little popcorn showers kind of down around Indian River County, and also just off the barrier island there in Brevard County. So there's a little bit of rain showing up on the maps. We take a look at the forecast over the next couple of hours' time, and we're going to keep that kind of less than 10% coverage of rain this morning, but through the day, we will see more and more. We're building up to a 40, even 50% coverage of showers and thunder showers today. High temperature around 91 degrees, 1 p.m., 93 degrees this afternoon. Yeah, plenty of moisture around. Let's talk about those afternoon highs today, shall we? 93 today in Orlando, 94 in Leesburg, 95 degrees. Wow. In the Villages and Wildwood, it is going to be a hot day. Good morning to you, Marie. Hope you're doing well. Shauna, good morning. Crystal, Casey, how are you? Juan Carlos, good morning, bud. Hope you're doing well. Ellie, good morning to you. Marie, good morning. Pam, Robin, good morning, good morning, good morning. Frankie, good morning. How are you? Barbara says, send it to my house. Are you talking about the heat or are you talking about that shower? I'm going to assume you're talking about the shower. Yeah. Lisa, whatever happened to the Coffee Talk drive-thru? You know what? I've been really pressed for time, and the drive-thru does take a little bit of additional time to put together, so it kind of hit the pause button. We'll have it back. Don't worry. Everything that's old again is new again. We'll get back there. Can you tell if hurricane hunters in the storm are NOAA or the Air Force team? This morning, I believe it is the Air Force folks. Yes, I believe it's the Air Force folks. Yeah, so we're talking about a WC-130 instead of a P-3 Orion aircraft. All right, let's talk about rain chances today. Let me dial up the old Futurecast. And here we go. We'll just kind of roll through time. Here's lunchtime. Already seeing a few showers up around Flagler County. Not too bad. Just a little bit of rain to track. Watch through time, though. We'll get more of those popcorning showers 2:30, 3 o'clock out east, working into the metro area by about 4, 5 o'clock. 1 or 2 heavier downpours, but it looks like it's just rain. And then 6:37, notice the stormier stuff out west of town. That's the sea breeze collision. That's where we're going to get the bigger thunderstorms. So if you live in Sumter, Polk, or Marion counties, you're going to have the opportunity to see some of those bigger showers and thunder showers. So yeah, big stuff. Really big stuff. Isn't that an SNL sketch? Really big stuff. Yeah, rain chances over these next couple of days, they are, let me shrink you down a little bit. Rain chances over these next few days are definitely up just a little bit. If we look at the rainfall forecast, though, in our area, it is nothing compared to our friends in Texas, because there is tropical moisture leaving Louisiana heading toward Texas. Let's just take a look at that. Doesn't look like much on the satellite presentation, and frankly, there's only a low-end chance for tropical development there, so we're not overly concerned about that happening, but we're watching it. A couple of inches of rain these next couple of days for us. It's important, of course, because we've got a holiday weekend ahead, and I want to make sure to eyeball things. It is 4th of July. Can you believe we're already there? Yeah, the Independence Day weekend is upon us, and we are looking at showers and thunder showers. It's the most Central Florida forecast you could possibly get when it comes to July 4th. Yeah, showers and storms each and every afternoon. Not bad. That's today included. We're in this very much summertime pattern. Yeah, which is fine with me. Sea breeze showers and storms around the metro area around midday and then kind of working off to the west little bit by little bit after that. So looking good if you're heading out to the area attractions. I do want to point something out. I thought this was really interesting. The fact that we've got not one, but 2 rocket launches scheduled for this week. Let's start with the Falcon 9 rocket launch. That is set for tomorrow afternoon. 80% chance of good weather for this one. That is the SES-2 mission. Very fun. And then on Thursday, the launch window opens at 6 p.m. for an Atlas V rocket. So it's a little busy here at the Space Coast these next couple of days. Both launches do have weather playing in there a little bit, so just have to keep our eyes peeled. Kind of like if you're going out on the boat, if you're going out and doing any kind of... I clicked the wrong graphic. That's what I'm looking for. The boating for... Why is that? Why is everything saying tomorrow? That's... Hold on a second. I don't know why I clicked the wrong ones. All right, what I'm trying to say is that the pool forecast today, I'm like, why does that say it? Is looking great. A couple of isolated showers, maybe a thunder shower or so, but it really is looking quite nice if you're wanting to head on out. So for what it's worth, go play and enjoy. Those showers and storms move off to the west little bit by little bit by little bit, okay? All right. Let's talk tropics. I know that that's what so many are interested in. This is potential tropical cyclone 2. This is the 8 o'clock advisory on the storm system. It's definitely bubbling up some decent convection here, which, you know, is to be expected in the tropics. Winds, according to the Hurricane Center, are at 40 miles an hour. Now, that said, they do have a recon mission in there right now. Let's just dig in and see what the live data coming in from the Hurricane Hunters is showing. They did have winds getting up significantly into tropical storm strength. They haven't fed data back in a little while, so we're kind of waiting on that. But that's where we're at, okay? We did get into tropical storm force winds. The question, though, is there a circulation in there? Let's just take a look, and we'll get some new data shortly, but this is the raw recon data coming in from them. And the one thing that I want to point out is if this conceivably is the center of circulation, we've got winds correct. You know, you want to look for winds circulating, and it looks like there may be somewhat of an area of low pressure in here. You know, am I positive on it? No. But, you know, once the Hurricane Hunters start feeding back more data to us, that's definitely going to be something interesting. Now, I do see people asking, for example, like, is this going to be a threat to us in Central Florida? For right now, the answer is absolutely not. If we look at the official forecast from the National Hurricane Center, the forecast keeps this well south of us. Now, they are calling for potential tropical cyclone or potential tropical system 2. They are calling for that to become a tropical storm as early as later this afternoon. Okay? So that's something that's possible. Jessica says the raw data drops every 10 minutes, right? Yes, it does. Yeah. So based on that thinking, more than likely we should have the organization. And frankly, I do think that we're starting to see that as we kind of look into the raw data. Let me just hold on one second, do a raw data update. Stand by. Do that. Hold on a second. I'm just going to grab the raw data. I want to look at that recon and see what they've done because I know that they are probably making yet another pass. Copy. Desktop. Stand by, friends. All right, let me run my script. All of this is powered, by the way, by, of all things, Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel takes all of the raw data that I throw into it and converts it over to be able to plot this. All right, give it a second to load. This is a very memory intensive graphic. But there, yeah, there's the raw recon data. All right, so let's just zoom into this a little bit and try and see. So if we just look at all the wind barbs, what you're looking for is, as the hurricane hunters are passing through, is there a turning of the winds, right? It looks like there may be. Let me interact with this. I want to remove that 62. Because for the sake of our discussion, it doesn't need to be there. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. That. Hold on. Bear with me. Listen, if you're hanging for coffee talk, you're getting some behind the scenes stuff. Okay. Yes, I want to save that. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, so this is going to be raw data from the hurricane hunters. Give it a second. It's, like I said, this is a pig of a scene on the computer. It really uses all of the graphical power that we have. All right, so if you look there in the wind barbs, and that's what I was trying to show, is if you look in the wind barbs there's a definite turn. There's a definite turn. So is there a low like right in there? That's what I'm curious about, okay? That's what I'm curious about. And I'm sure that that's what the hurricane hunters are also curious about. But what I was also saying is they did find that 62 mile per hour wind in there. So there's definitely some strength to this. Happy to say, at least for us locally, it is not expected to be any kind of a factor for Central Florida. The official forecast cone keeps it well south of us. One thing that's interesting, though, is that it's trying to develop the way that it is so far to the south, scraping across South America. Now, I do think that if the recon mission that we're in right now continues to find somewhat of circulation, then more than likely the Hurricane Center will upgrade this to a tropical depression, or, I mean, based on those winds, they would probably end up calling it a tropical storm. And the next name on the list, should they decide to go that route, would be Bonnie. Okay, now, I did a little bit of climatology yesterday. I went back and I looked and I said, okay, it is June the 27th. Where were we in hurricane season last year? Where were we in hurricane season the year before? And I found some interesting stats, and I know that Camtran was talking about this on the air last night. I know I was talking about this on Facebook and social media and all that fun stuff. This year, through yesterday, close of business, we have had one named storm, Alex. Okay? Through yesterday in 2021 and in 2020, we had 4 named storms. So we are certainly behind where we were for those last 2 years. But as soon as I finished this graphic, I said, well, we're operating on a 30-year average. So based on a 30-year average, where do we rank, right? We know we're behind where we were for these last couple of years, but where do we rank for the 30-year average? Would you believe me if I told you we are right on schedule, right on par with the 30-year average? I know today's the 28th, Kenny, but I made the darn graphic yesterday, and I haven't had time to update the stats. Probably won't be different. 2022, we have had one named storm thus far. On average, through June 27th, we, over the last 30 years, average 1.1 named systems thus far. So we are right on average. And I could also say, oh, you're fine, Kenny. I would also say that, like, you know, this is something I don't want us to be overzealous about. Steve says, everybody go panic, buy food on the shelves. Yeah, let's not panic. There's nothing threatening us. Nothing's threatening us. But I just thought that was really interesting because, Colorado State, NOAA, everybody's talking about this above average season, and that's fine. And I would also point out, through today, there, like couple of notes. 2004, of course, Charlie, Francis, and Gene hit us. Up to this point, there had been one named storm. You go through and look at the historical data. Just remember, it only takes, as we were talking about yesterday, it only takes one storm to hit you to make it a bad season. But we are right where we should be on average, but behind where we were through last year and the year before. I want to say today, either in 2020 or 2021, we had a fifth storm named. So, this graphic may not be accurate for today's date, but, it's the morning, so I feel like through yesterday is still acceptable. But at any rate, so that's where we're at in terms of the tropics. All right, we do have tropical advisories posted for the southern islands. A little bit of squally weather already moving through. We look at the models. The models are all tightly in consensus, which is fine with me. Let them all stay south, scraping across South America, and then getting into Central America. If it stays a little further north along water, it could be a good thing, But the ABC Islands, getting some squally, not so perfect weather. Let me do doesn't look like we've gotten any new data yet. All right, so haven't gotten any new data in the last couple of minutes time at least. I just keep checking because I want to keep refreshing the recon data. I want to bring you as much raw recon data as I can. But yeah, so there were winds in the 60-ish mile per hour, like 64 mile per hour range from the system. Still waiting for raw data. I don't know if there's communication issue or if they're just kind of waiting to throw a bunch of data out, but it's been a minute. It's been a little while since we've gotten data. I hope and pray we get no storms and we don't need them. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Giddy up. Just tuned in. What can we expect toward the end of July? We'll get there. Right now we're just tracking what we've got outside right now. All right, so that's the latest on potential tropical cyclone number 2 or potential tropical system number 2. Just the name cyclone, it throws everybody off. It's just a potential system. It's not even a depression. It's not even a storm. It's certainly not a hurricane. But it's something that we're watching. There's the latest stats as of the 8 a.m. intermediate advisory. There is bursting of convection. So for sure, we're going to be, through Coffee Talk, monitoring this to see if recon finds anything decent. It did look like, and I'll show it to you again. It did look like on our last little update from the hurricane hunters, it did look like we had we did have sufficient turning in there. So I would be interested once we get the next little blip of data. If that's a closed off low, then we've got the data. We've got ourselves probably a tropical storm at that point. We just did know, Rhoda says. We just did know. Good morning, buddy. But I love when Eric says Bay of Campeche. You like that? Tina, don't forget to go vote for Eric on the Orlando Weekly for Best of Orlando. Well, thank you, Tina. You don't have to vote for me, but vote. It's fun. No matter who you vote. Look, I would appreciate it, but, vote for who you feel. There's a lot of cool options in there, from restaurants to places, all this fun stuff. Yeah, so go check it out. Let's see here. Would be great if the trend of low riders continues further into the season. Tom, I would not argue that point at all. So what else is there? In addition to potential tropical system number 2, we're also watching 2 additional things. One is out behind it, kind of working up toward the northern Caribbean islands, and then the next one is out here over the Gulf of Mexico, working out toward the coastline of Texas. So let's do this. Let me refresh this. This is our GFS model, 6Z. In order to show all this stuff, because it's so far south, you're not going to get your timestamp, so you're just going to have to trust me. You're going to have to let me read the timestamp off to you. All right, so first off, there's Invest 90. It's not anymore. It's potential tropical system number 2. Doesn't look like much because it's like plowing into South America. What I'm curious about is, does it end up becoming named before it makes its way ashore in South America? That we'll have to watch. And then over there on the left side of your screen, which it's like hard to see it there, but here you can see it a little better. There's that little Texas feature. It's not much, but it's there. Then we're rolling through, and then you've got, the GFS is trying to pop up a couple of lows, which is so GFS. Roll that through. Then there's what would be Bonnie getting new life as it moves away from South America towards Central America. Moisture, nothing too terribly organized. The GFS is just basically saying lowering pressure, and then there's like a little something here around July 7th, July 8th. Trying to figure something out. July 10th. Yeah, so there's that. Nothing crazy. Yeah, all right, so that's the GFS. Let's switch over to the European. You scroll it down so that we can review all the stuff way far south. There's our little Texas feature. There's potential tropical system 2 / could be Bonnie. There's the thing behind it. The GFS, the European is definitely keying in on that thing behind it. There's hour 90. We'll switch from the 6Z back over to the 0Z. Look at that. And it even has it going into the Pacific. Wouldn't that be funny? An Atlantic to Pacific crossover. They've given us one. Let us give them one, right? European with a little bit of moisture on either shoreline, but nothing all that major. And then if we switch out to the control, just to go even further out. Nothing for us. Good. Works for me. And that's 360. That's as far out as it goes. All right. So that's where we're at. Let's see if the hurricane hunters have anything here. Still no. What is going on, people? Is it that they've flown so far south we've lost the data link? I wonder. Kelly, July 6th, 7th, aren't we watching the Northeast? Let's look. I believe we might be. There's also the Florester trying to show up on the BSR. July 6th, 7th, watching the Northeast. You're right. Let's look and see. Sixth and 7th, watching the Northeast. Let's just see if it's showing up anything. Timestamp in the top right corner of your screen there. July 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. There was like a little low. Yeah, like right there. Not much. Let's look over at the European. Is the European going anymore? What was it, the 6th, 7th, right? Fourth, 5th, 6th. Oh, yeah. Well, the European's showing it a lot more. Look at that. It's not tropical in nature, it doesn't look like. But nice little storm system there. Showing right up, right where and when. Yeah. So, there's that. Maybe a day early. But that's there. Yeah. Always fun. And as I said, the BSR, and I want to look, I haven't seen the BSR this morning, but the BSR was starting to hint at something from the Florester. It's a little off in terms of its like locationing. But here. You see that 552 upper low there? I mean, that could be something. So anyway, suffice it to say, we're starting to look out for the Florester, which of course is the next Florida feature that we'll have to watch. Click you. There we go. The next Florida feature that we'll have to watch, kind of the 20th, 21st of July. The BSR is trying to show it perhaps a couple of days early, around the 18th, 19th, but we'll key in on it. and see where we're going. All right? Any questions, comments, concerns about anything that we have talked about? There's the latest path on potential tropical system number 2. Still nothing new from the hurricane hunters. Terry, is Melbourne Beach looking good for this morning? There's a couple of showers around Melbourne, around Melbourne Beach, but all in all, looking pretty good. Courtney says, if it's a little off and doesn't affect us too much, we're good. Well, the question is it's still outside of the actual BSR range. We're just kind of using the GFS at this point. So we have to see where it ends up actually being through the North Pacific, and then we can cycle that through the rest. Yeah. I guess I can come home but not bring the cool temps. Yep. We had a little storm here. No sufficient damage. Well, good. No damage is certainly a good thing. Any questions, comments, concerns? They're out there doing barrel rolls and playing. Huh? Let's see here. Is Melbourne Beach looking good? I'm just trying to see if this. Hope you get to your convention in July. Me too. If the system hits a little early, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Stephanie says you commented one day that in August we should see something. Do you have any idea around what time that would happen? So for our official hurricane forecast in August, we have that 26th, 27th, 28th time frame. But if you recall, there was Alex that showed up, and that was not a part of our official forecast. I didn't add it, but whatever. When did Alex form? Because it would be 64 days after that. So tropical storm Alex 2022. So Alex formed June 5th. Was it June 5th? When did he cross Florida? Okay, so June, yeah, like June 5th. So the Alex part of the pattern would be around August 8th, 9th. Yeah. So August 8th, 9th would be the Alex part of the pattern. Not to say that that's going to recycle. We didn't add it to the forecast, but maybe it's not a bad idea to just. I'll do this. Hold on. I'm just going to do this. Oh. The 8th, 9th. Hold on. Watching Florida ? And then I'm going to move you up. And then, hold on. Copy, paste. I'm just going to make a mention of it. Okay. All right. I'm just adding it, but I'm adding it with a question mark because it's not a part of our official forecast. It's just kind of something we're adding. All right, but watching Florida for the Alex repeat. Okay? So there you go. That's the timeline for the month of August. Let's see here. Let me scroll up for some of these other questions. Let's see here. What category do we vote from? Oh, for the Orlando Weekly. I think there's several. Just go down the list, vote for whoever you want and wherever categories you want, Viviana. So the wave behind the potential tropical system is not going to develop, asking because I will be on a cruise July 2nd through the 9th. So I would say that it doesn't fit the pattern to do much, at least around here. But, the models don't show much in development there. Yeah. Jessica says, the hurricane hunters, did they give me any new data? They have not sent back new data. That is so random. I wonder if they're having communication issues. Yeah, I'll bring it up for you. The difference between Typhoon and Cyclone compared to hurricanes, just different parts of the planet, which is why I hate that this is called a potential tropical cyclone. I just call it a potential tropical system, just so as to not confuse people. Am I going to be at the launch tomorrow? I'm not, because I'm on the air. Yeah, unfortunately. Let's see here. We've got new phones. Have the warning alarm for weather warnings finally safer now. Very good, very good, very good. I lived in Jacksonville a while back. Couldn't believe it actually snowed there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's possible. This day and age, we should not have data sharing issues. I mean, these things happen. Yeah. It's all equipment, though, yeah, All right. Any questions, comments, concerns? Anything else? All right. So there's the 7-day forecast. Showers and storms these next couple of days, looking pretty normal to me. My neighbor just said my pool equipment sounds like it's having issues, which means I get to go outside and look at that. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. I will see you today on West 2 News at noon and at 4. Afternoon coffee talk at 3:30, and of course, updates throughout the day on Facebook and Twitter and all that other stuff. All right? Be good, guys. Thank you so much.